Hello, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe my channel first and share my videos. Look, first start with the subscribe to the channel is very important. Second, please click the bell button because only 20% you can look here, miss the information, the important information what I share here. So target is 20,000 subscribers. I want to start today a little bit different. There was a hearing before the Congress and 6 cryptocurrency CEOs speak here. So let's hear what they say.
While the Federal Reserve is conducting research on central bank digital currencies, and other federal agencies like the FDIC and NCUA have announced requests for information from the digital assets industry. The SEC also actively utilizing its existing authorities to carry out enforcement actions against market participants. As the prevalence of cryptocurrency grows, it has also raised environmental concerns tied to the computing power needed to mine some of the coins, which can rival the energy needs of entire countries like Sweden or Argentina. At the same time, the promise of digital assets in providing faster payments.
Faster payments. Yeah, you heard that cryptocurrencies have this property that you can pay faster than normal currency. Is a pro, I think, for cryptocurrencies.
Instantaneous settlements and lower transaction fees for remittances are areas that our committee is exploring. As more and more people invest in and use
More and more people invest in cryptocurrency, the governments get here cold feet. Yeah.
cryptocurrencies, the committee will continue its efforts to look at how they are affecting many aspects of our lives and our financial system. And so with that, I now recognize the ranking member of the committee, the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. McHenry, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 2021 was the year of the cryptocurrency.
2021 was the year of the cryptocurrency, yes. The Bitcoin price is rising to 69,000. So I think the next year is a bear market, I think.
More Americans than ever are taking notice of this transformational technology.
Yes, more and more people recognize that the cryptocurrencies are better. And so the governments are now in the situation that they get here cold feet.
DeFi, DAOs, NFTs, Web3, jargon that was really once just used on crypto Twitter, they are quickly becoming part of the lexicon. Technology and its adoption are moving fast. Entrepreneurs and innovators are building and deploying the next generation of the internet.
Very important, next generation of the internet. That this sentence is very important. That you have to understand. This is not a technology that is an add-on to the internet. This is the next generation of the internet, and many people not realize this date. Yeah.
And firms like the ones before us are the on-ramp for many Americans to participate in the digital asset ecosystem. But this panel is only a bit of that broad ecosystem, and this is the first time Congress is having a hearing about cryptocurrencies in its fullness. But as with any new and fast-growing industry, there are questions that need to be answered. I want to be clear, though. This technology is already regulated. Now, the regulations may be clunky, they may not be up to date. I ask my friends, my policymaker friends here on the Hill, this question. Do you know enough about this technology to have a serious debate?
No, it's a new technology, and many of the people own no cryptocurrencies, and this is a point that how can I say, they want a new technology, but the knowledge of the politicians and the people is very low.
Now, if the answer is no, then we need to first seek to understand, to build up that understanding of this new technology so we can have a serious debate on how we appropriately respond and update regulations and perhaps laws. But I should be clear, the goal today is to listen, learn, and ask questions. This technology is new and exciting. It promises a new direction for financial economies, services, and products. I further asked this.
He mentioned it's good for finance and products. So I think this is the thinking about the cryptocurrencies. There, you can see all the contracts. Yeah, they want to make this digital, and I think it's a point is very important also.
This question, though. How do we make sure, as American policymakers, that this cryptocurrency revolution, this technology revolution, happens?
He talked about revolution. So I think you can hear this with your own eyes, and that they want this they want this technology, and they see the Congress see this as a revolution. It's a very important point.
In the U.S. and not overseas. There are a lot of questions we have to.
He mentioned here that he want to guarantee, yeah, that this technology is happening in the USA, not overseas, yeah.
Answer. But of course, we need reasonable rules of the road. We know that. We don't need knee-jerk reactions by lawmakers to regulate out of fear of the unknown rather than seeking to understand. And that fear of the unknown and the move to regulate before understanding will only stifle American ingenuity and put us at a competitive disadvantage. Throughout history, we've seen examples, countless harmful examples of overregulation around the world by governments. In the late 1800s, England reacted to the rise of cars with laws that required 3 people to operate vehicles at all times. 1 to drive, a 2nd to fuel up the vehicle, and a 3rd to stand in front of the car and wave a red flag. Now, Congress should not be dumb enough to raise a red flag around this technology revolution. We should embrace it, we should understand it, and we should be the international leaders in this space. Further example I would tell you is Skype. The video conferencing platform that, may still be a little clunky, but was vital during the COVID shutdowns that we just experienced. And it was vital for some of our kids to even go to school or even have hearings on this massive screen here. Skype was illegal in most of the world when it was launched. There wasn't a regulatory infrastructure in place that allowed this novel technology, this new technology. And finally, when an invention called the internet began to boom, U.S. lawmakers and regulators struggled to fully grasp the immense possibilities of this innovation out the gate. Now, that was the early 90s, and I think we're in a similar state with Web 3 30 years later for Congress first to understand before we would seek to legislate. Now, it would be nearly impossible to go a day without using the internet to communicate, we know that, or move from point A to point B, we know that, or purchase necessities for our families, we know that. I would argue that the nascent technology we're discussing today will have just as much impact on our daily lives.
He mentioned this is that is just impact on our life.
Perhaps more.
Yeah.
And that's why we must get this right.
So, very important. He mentioned that he the technology must have it right. Yeah. So I think he mentioned that this technology is very important, and you can see the hearing here at the Congress is also important for US. So let's look here to the Bitcoin price. What makes the Bitcoin price? And as I predict here that the price is going here to the downside, is also all predicted in the last video. Now here's important to understand in which direction the journey is going. So for us it's important to understand that we broke already the positive trend line that we built here to the downside. And this is danger because we now try to find here a ground, yeah. And this ground is, let's look where we can find here a ground. Let me look. So we already broke this positive trend lines. So the people who predict here 100,000, all the YouTubers, all the famous people, they are now in the point that Bitcoin will never go here to 80,000 or 90,000. This is the point. This retest is failed, yeah. And now we're going here to the downside. The next step here, as I predict, 100% correct. The price will go here to these levels, yeah, and test the 41,000 levels. I think we will retest this again, yeah, and then we will fail to 30,000. This is clear because this will also not hold. This will also not hold. The reason is we test this too much. Yeah, that is the problem. And if this also test failed, then we will landing here at 10,000. Because you can see this also the previous video, the Congress who speak, he said, yeah, the year 2021 was the year of the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. Yes, it's now ending, and now we're starting the bear market. Yeah, it's very interesting because all the channels they predict here 200,000. They have no clue. It's ending. We are coming to the end here, and we will go here to 10,000. But then the second wave is more stronger than that what you here see. Yeah. Let's look here in detail. Let's look. So we adjust our prediction here in detail. So I think if this fall, I have to look. Yeah, I think we have here a small base so that we could make something like that. Yeah, and then I think we could go. I have to look. We could go here to the downside, but we could also make here a retest, yeah, of this level here. Because the Bitcoin price is falling, yes, we understand this. Especially if you look or move to the 1 minute chart, then you have the possibility to understand this. Look, we have the situation that we have or have to retest this area again. That means we could retest this at 48,000. Yeah. So this move we could draw here a little bit better so that we make here a retest of this area. Yeah. Because the structure is here strong. So this retest could go to 49,000. Yeah. Simple retest of this area to make this. Yeah. Go to these levels, make a retest, and after the retest, fall to the downside, I think. Yeah, this is more realistic that we see something like that. And then finally, we could go to 42,000. The same story here, that we make here a retest of this area. Yeah, something like that. Then this day here, 13, 14 is very dangerous. Then we could go here to the downside. Yeah, let's look. So we delete this old prediction. So now you understand this, and we have here the possibility to go to 30,000. Same story here. This will also not hold. I said this very many months ago that we will go here to the downside. They made here a manipulation here. So these 2 points, and in real we have if no manipulation here, then in real we have something like that, yeah. But they manipulate this to the upside so that many people are shocked here, and now they realize that they get here the false information, yeah, from the YouTubers and all the people. So I said this on this point, but nobody heard to me. Now here next point 30,000 that will also break, then we will landing here at 10,000. Please notice, write this down here, um, make a notice, yeah, that here 10,000 is the target. So I'm finished. I think If you like the video, please share the video, and yeah, subscribe to the channel. And I think we see us in the next video. Have a nice day.